Здравствуйте, меня зовут Гон Richard. Приятно познакомиться. Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Back to Live podcast version. So this time, as title shows, how to avoid wars, about which I'd like to tell you some stories. And, you know, just is not just is sad. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you the conclusion. So the conclusion is the answer to the question shown in title, and the question is how to. The question is how is it possible to avoid wars, or how do you, or how do you what tell me how to avoid wars, which I think is a question, and the answer is it's unlike to get away from the center of the topic, or the center of the interest, or the center of concerns, and it's alright to get away from. It's fine to live far away from such centers of concerns, or such centers of interests, or such centers of problems. So the typical example is my country. So what I'd like to tell you is that my country is so in the ancient time. So the center of Asia had been China, and Japan is far away from China, which is why nobody had been interested in my country, and this time the center of concern. So I'm recording this episode on February in 2022, and there is an imminent invasion, or there is an imminent wars between Ukraine and Russia. So which means Russia is trying to invade what Russia is trying to conquer Ukraine, and the situation in Ukraine is such. The situation Ukraine is in is stuff like that. So you know but so what I'd like so well how what I'd like to what I'd like to tell you is that to avoid wars, what is necessary is to get away from the center of concerns, or the center of the problem. So in this case, or by using this example, so what to do is to, for example, get away from Ukraine, which is one of the examples, and it's easy. Everybody thinks stuff like that, because the, for example, in the case of the government of the United States of America, the government ordered or asked United citizens living in Ukraine to get out of that country, or not Ukraine citizens, not Ukraine citizens, but not Ukraine citizens, but maybe people related to diplomatic stuff of the United States of America. Anyway, so that is one of the ways to get away from warring situations. And another, so what I'd like you to know is that general manner to get away from wars, or get away from fightings. So using this example, so what matters is to get away from the center of the problem. So in globally speaking, nowadays, or in this present era, so the center of the concerns is European countries and the United States of America, or the Northern American countries. So to avoid getting involved into major problems, it's better to live away from such central countries. Meaning, So I have told you many times that it's good to immigrate into European developed countries, or it's good to immigrate into the United States of America or other developed countries. But in term, so in terms of avoiding conflicts, or in terms of so considering how to avoid problems, or considering how to get away from severe problems, it's good to get away from, for example, developed European developed countries, for example. So when it comes to thinking about, when it comes to avoiding wars, for example, just considering how to avoid wars, this country is much better. This country is much better than other major countries. Of course, for example, it's possible to immigrate into Madagascar, for example. So I think it's possible. I don't know the conditions. I don't know the conditions of Madagascar. I don't have any ideas about Madagascar, and I don't have any idea about, for example, other countries like Sri Lanka, or anyway. So the best choice is to live away from such major countries and immigrate into other minor countries. So for example, nobody knows anything about Sri Lanka, or nobody knows anything about Madagascar, and nobody knows anything about my country. Or some people who are interested in my country, may know things related to my country. But generally speaking, my country doesn't come to the interests of other people when it comes to, for example, so if you live in some European countries, nobody know. Maybe many people know the name of my country, but nobody knows things about my country. Maybe the situation is stuff like that. So if you live in the United States of America, so maybe your friends or your acquaintances may know things about my country, and at least they know the name of my country, but actually they don't know anything. Maybe many people know many people know almost nothing related to my country. Maybe you are in such a situation if you live in the United States of America. So language, to get away from. So it's all right to live in this country if you'd like to get away from warring situations or terrorism attacks. So if you don't like such terrorism attacks or wars, it's fine to live in my country. Although this country has declining population, which means the population of this country declines year by year. So which is what I have told you in many episodes for a long time. But actually, which means that the future of this country is dimming, or the future of this country is dark. So because based on the fact that the population of this country decreases, well, it's decreasing, and thinking about the poverty, or the fact that young people do not have much money. So this country, I don't recommend other people to immigrate into my country, considering the future of my country. But pointing out or focusing on how to avoid wars, or how to avoid war. So this country is the best place. I think this country is the best place because nobody is interested in my country. So which is what I'd like you to know this time. So coming back to the original topic, or coming back to what title says, how to avoid wars, or how the hell is it possible to avoid wars? So the answer is to get away from the center of the topic, so the center of the problem, so the center of the concerns, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So if you go to some places where nobody's interested in, so for example, it's fine to go to, how to avoid wars is to go to some place where nobody is interested in. So it's fine to go to some places nobody knows the name of, which is best I think which is the best way to avoid wars or avoid conflicts, which is what I'd like you to realize. So that's it. Thank you very much for but actually, so if you'd like to immigrate into such places, nobody knows, or nobody around you knows. So please be careful that you have to think about your own future. So for example, if you have children, or if you have family, so please think about the feelings of the members of your family, for example, and education environment of your children, if you have children, and if you have older parents, for example. So please think about the securities, and please think about medical treatments available in the place you are thinking of immigrating to. So all the people need high levels of medical treatments, So, considering all the stuff, or considering things you can come up with, or considering all the stuff necessary for a new life after your immigration, it's good to choose where to immigrate. So, of course, I said, it's good to it's good to go to some places nobody knows to avoid wars, but wars are not all the stuff accounting for your life, which means you have many things to do which are not related to wars or or diplomatic conflicts. Please make sure this point. So there are other stuff to be concerned about. So when it comes to immigrating into other countries. So please make sure this point. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. And all the responsibility. So all you have all the responsibilities on your own actions. Please make sure this. Please also make sure this point, and you are responsible for your own actions. So that's it. Thank you for listening. See you. Paka paka.